Is it live? Is it? Get on! Hi, how you doing? I hope you're well. Just a moment of peace and tranquility whilst they all go out with the dogs, and I'm here with you. So hope you're well. Hope you're safe, sane-ish. And in your power. The kind of in the power bit might explain. I'll explain more. It's Kathy Bento in the good old US of A. So I'm talking about the drama triangle. I often talk about the drama triangle. I quite enjoyed when I made it an island with shark-infested custard around it. Humour is very important in what I do, although that's not funny. Nothing's very funny at the minute. It is, but it kind of stress sometimes. So maybe you're on one of those stress days. Anyway, give me a moment about the drama triangle, and maybe share. Well, I am sharing an aspect that I don't often share. It's kind of implicit with what I do, and I explain this is where people want to get to, escaping the drama triangle. And I saw it on a post. It was about a leadership structure of Sarah. It was on yours. So thank you. It made me think, actually, I'll explicitly share the positive aspect and where people want to get to. So stick with me on this one. Survivor or victim? Are you a survivor or a victim? Anybody that's kind of low self-esteem in this drama triangle, stuck in this drama triangle, will be one of the both. In fact, they're the same thing. But often people, and I get this on the challenges, which is a really interesting point, even within the tribees, I'm not a victim, kind of ruffle up against that and defensive, and it's like, I'm not a victim, I'm a survivor. And that's fantastic, to say I'm a survivor, but guess what? You're surviving, but you're in the drama triangle, you've been in the drama triangle. So you're used to that environment, all right? And it's the same thing. The people that associate and affiliate themselves with the word and the context of survivor, which is awesome. You are a survivor. If you've overcome this stuff, you're bloody hell. Or if you're still here, you're a bloody survivor. I salute you. But you've been a victim, and often people don't like that terminology. A victim, it suggests weakness, which it's not about. I was a victim of emotional abuse. I've come to terms with that, but it's the language can sometimes turn us off, so survivor or victim, whichever one you relate to. The words are slightly different. I thought I'd use those words in that leadership example, which is a bit 80s. It was a bit 80s in colour and everything, and presenter. Anyway, so persecutor, what I normally call it is victim. I normally have that one over there, which is what do I call it? Poor you, and poor me, poor you, and blame. So that's what I normally call it. So persecutor, blame. It's somebody, the persecute, maybe get on a high horse, saying it's not their fault because of this, or it's your fault because of this. It's your fault. So it's a very blamey at somebody else, but not about you. It's not your fault. It's over there. Victim. Poor me, it's my fault. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. I said good enough twice. I'm too ugly. I'm too. It's down on yourself. Here, you want to help and rescue somebody else. That's like, who am I to worry about my problems? Look at what they've got to deal with. My gosh, I should forsake myself for them. And ever the rescuer, you want to rescue people, help people. Poor you, poor them. But often, you go around in different times at different stages, and you get different places, your positions. Sometimes we tend to congregate, maybe, for example, down here, poor me. Sometimes in the victim corner. Sometimes it's forever rescuing other people and seeing the good in other people, but knowing that you're broken, but you can help other people because you understand, you empathise, and that's a lovely thing. But guess what? It just keeps you stuck in, every aspect of this keeps you stuck in the drama triangle when you want to escape. Keeps you as a survivor or a victim. Now, you might think it's good to be a survivor, but it's not good to be staying stuck in this mode. Or you might think, the persecutor, the blame, the angry bit, defensive. And that came up for me recently, but it's, I've come up against it many times. But the people I work with are these, I want to help them overcome this stuff and escape the drama triangle. But sometimes, it comes become loggerheads, and that's a tricky thing. But it just comes with the clientele. I could choose to be a coach in a different field, but I follow my passion. This is anxiety based, often, drama, anxiety based, and it's problem focused. The real problem is really focused on the problem. Yes, but whenever it is yes, but, no, but, it's but when your butt's too big. Okay, and the persecutor can be actually quite an angry. It can be a very defensive. I was saying recently when like rats aren't. You don't think rats are predators, but kind of. But if you corner one, you know if it when it's really cornered, when it's really scared, when it's really under pressure, they'll attack. And often get people that are victims that often think that they're abusers. I'm speaking to one right now actually, that think they're oh my gosh, I'm terrible, I've exploded. And guess what? You've been picked at for years, and you're being picked at now by a partner who supposedly loves you, and they pick at you until you explode, and then go, God, look at you, control yourself, so. It's a system. So this is problem-based. You can see it's kind of looking negative. Woohoo! Look at that. Do you want to know about that? Woohoo! Oh, right. Okay. I'll show you this because this is kind of where I want to take people. But you have to be there yourself. You have to take yourself out of this area. And of course, I give you the tools and the techniques, and I share stuff with you on the free stuff, on the free side of things. But in the program, there's the tools and techniques, the pathway to go over this stuff. It's passion-based. That's me. It's not anxiety based, it's passion based, and it's outcome focused, so it's kind of positive. It's trying to solve stuff rather than being problem, but this is I can't do this because of this, it's not going to work because of this, it's not, you get the idea. So the empowerment side, I guess this is healthy self-esteem, empowerment triangle. When you become more of a creator, you create stuff, and I guess what I've done is create a way to overcome this stuff in my program. It's about coaching, about helping people through stuff, being challenging, providing challenge for somebody. And that's definitely the role I take. I was this came about on the masterminds recently that I run, sort of closed groups, the same group of people working over 12 weeks, a period of 12 weeks, 12 sessions over 6 months, meeting and using a real structure to approach problems and help you solve your own problems. Coming out of this stuff and becoming, better with healthy self-esteem alongside the program. So it's a bloody awesome tool. And this is what I did at the BBC. It's called Action Learning. So yeah, definitely the coach role, definitely challenge. It's a place of challenge, particularly those mastermind groups. It's a challenging process to go through, but you're being challenged by, myself, the facilitator, but also the other ladies in the group, and they're just like you. They come from this, so it's a very trusting, open and hugely supportive, amazing group. I love those groups. They're just so powerful. So it builds trust, and as the trust builds, then you're more open and you're more able to go down through the layers. It's about breaking the shell of your own understanding. If you think you're down here and it's fixed, right? You're really, the problem is with me and I can't fix that. You believe that, but then we can help you break that shell and come into a new understanding, and that's one you've never had before. It's a lovely place to be. So you can see these are very different, passion, outcome focused. So the role I take and the role I help people come up to is of coaching, but there can be a clash sometimes between these ones, coaching somebody who wants to rescue somebody else, wants to rescue things, you have to let and allow yourself and give yourself permission and have enough information, trust the person that's being the coach, i.e. me in this one, enough to listen. You have to be in a place where you're not actually attacking or blaming or being a persecutor when you're being challenged. So, it's a tricky fish sometimes. And of course we move around at different points around these places. So sometimes I might be more challenging than coaching. I might be more creative and, but this is the place of healthy self-esteem. And I don't often show this. And I thought, actually, it's a nice place to show, especially with a few conversations that I've had recently. It's like, this is the transition. It's a bloody awesome transition. That's what I get passionate about, this transition. Because I know what it's like to be stuck down here. I know what you attract when you're stuck down here. God, I've interesting conversations recently, but the conversations I've had the last 13 years with people that have been in this environment, brought up around this environment, and they don't realise that they've got this conditioning in their subconscious, and it's bloody awful because they attract abusive friends, that take the piss, treat them like a doormat, the family treat them like a doormat, the kids treat them like a doormat, their partners that supposedly love them treat them like a doormat, and it's awful to go through life feeling like that. Is this it? Is this everything in life? Well, no. But you have to go through and break through and overcome this stuff, and I've got the pathway to be able to do that, and that's what I'm so passionate about. But sometimes it's tricky, and sometimes timing isn't right, something drama happens, and you get sucked back into into the drama that you're so used to. You know, if you think of it as a well-trodden path, a neural pathway in your mind, you know, that's so reliable, where if you get new stuff, you might get knocked back easily, you know, but part of the environment and the coaching that we do and the structure that we've created in the program is about, you know, understanding where you've come from, because, you know, I've created this and I've come from that place as well. So it's like, oh yeah, guess what? You get knocked back sometimes. Just let the dust settle and then come back, and, you know, we're here for you, and there's a support here. So I often, you know, I always show the drama triangle. You know, this is what you need to overcome. This is what's holding you back. This is, you know, just really understand that patterning. But, you know, I thought it was nice to share this one as, well, this is actually where you're heading. How cool would it be to head to this place? And often people, if you ask them when they're in here, they can't see this, they can't understand this. You know, what would it be like to empower other women, for example, if you took this stuff and worked with this stuff and your experience of being in an abusive relationship, for example? What if you work with this stuff, or having anxiety, for example, and you can help other women with your story once you've overcome it? Now, how cool would that be? And, oh, no, yeah, you can understand that wouldn't work there. But once they overcome it and step into this area of empowerment, they become empowered, and that's when they stand in their power. So when I say, hope you stay safe, sane, and in your power, that is in your power when you have self-esteem, healthy self-esteem, not low self-esteem, which is like low self-worth. Oh, I'm not good enough. I'm, you know, poor me, or, you know, poor you, poor them. They're much worse than me. I'm, you know, which is actually poor me as well. Or, you know, blame. It's, you know, which is angry and fighty, and that just all of that keeps you in this negative environment, you know, anxiety based, problem focused, which ain't a great place to be. So I'm very passionate about helping people there, but I can't make people come there. You know, sometimes they slip back down to this place, and it can get a bit awkward, a bit clashy around this place. I'm sure you could see a bit clashy, but that's all right, because, you know, that happens, and sometimes I just have to let people go and be and do what they have to do. Other times they come back and see, you know, but other times, you know, people from here can see, not understand this balance. In fact, they see one up here, which is about ego, arrogance, you know, and control, maybe narcissism. And it can look quite similar when you're down here. So that's an interesting dynamic. Can you see how that one would work? So sometimes, you know, we can all, you know, if I'm a bit glib or a bit impatient myself, it could be perceived as arrogance, you know. So that's an interesting thing. So sometimes the dynamic here can be quite tricky and a bit of a bumpy road. But you know what? I've got the passion for that and the structure. If I didn't have the passion, I wouldn't have the patience. I wouldn't have that understanding of what it's like to go through that journey. And people that have never been through that journey, that's awesome. You know, they won't understand this, need to, you know, maybe academically they might understand it, but they won't have that experience, which is cool. But, you know, the people that have been through that, overcome that, have got, for me, I appreciate that depth, because they still go down there, but how quickly they come back is awesome once you've overcome this stuff. And I think you have a great depth of understanding for people. So I hope that's interesting. I thought I'd share that. I wanted to share that. Any questions on that, just ask away. Or if you've got any, you know, critique on that, I'd welcome that. It'd be interesting. It's an old model. You know, it's nothing new, but I thought I'd share it because I always, you know, share the drama triangle, but, you know, not often the positive side of that. So I hope that's interesting. I hope you're well. Stay safe, stay sane-ish, and stay in your power. All right, lots of love. Bye bye.